Conversation continues. This is the afternoon drive on the Watchdog.
Now say, whoa, get ready, bam-a-lam, whoa, get ready, bam-a-lam, whoa, get ready, bam-a-lam, get ready to ride. Whoa, get ready, bam-a-lam, whoa, get ready, bam-a-lam, whoa, get ready, bam-a-lam, get ready to ride. Bam-a-lam, get ready to ride. Bam-a-lam, get ready worldwide.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Watchdog Afternoon Drive. My name is DJ Danner, taking you through up until 5 p.m. right here on FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX, FM WVLY 97.7, and AM 1370. Lola, I am a train wreck today. Let me tell you what. I
That's
cannot
nice.
get anything to go my way this morning. It's just been one of those days, you know?
Well, we all have them, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's too much going on. And I'm getting pulled in 9 different directions, and I'm trying to kind of just breathe and kind of take it all in and kind of try to get focused on one thing so I don't kind of bounce around project to project, text message to text message, message to message on social media. There's way too many ways of getting a hold of everybody. I miss being a kid for multiple different reasons. One, I had no responsibilities.
True.
2, the only way you could reach me is by a phone call from a landline.
Yep.
Best way of living, I'm telling you. I mean, like, that's me saying my age right there. It's like, look, yeah, that was back in the day. Yeah, just had a landline. Kellen's like, Dad, what's that?
I know.
Is that an app on the phone? Yeah, right? Yeah, I literally feel like the 2020 official Christmas ornament, a dumpster fire. That's what it feels like right now. That really is.
Wow.
I ordered it, by the way. It did not come in today. So I do not have it so hopefully we're going to have it next week. And Lola, I tell you what, I am very excited about next week's show. Because you told me you didn't want to hear any Christmas music all month long up until you were like, just do it all that one day.
Well, you got it all today.
No, I don't have it all today. No, that is saved. That's for next week. There's other songs on the playlist on my YouTube channel. Yeah, no
Do I
Christmas
gotta
today.
Pull up a new.
What is it?
They're all on this one.
They're all, well, I started piecing together the songs I'm going to select for next week. So you're getting like a glimpse of what's coming next week. But next week,
Yeah, I got a glimpse. All right, I'm going. Oh.
yeah, you're going to call off next week, I know. But next week's our big Christmas show. It's my last show on Tuesday next week before Christmas. And I'm going all out, Lola. We're wrapping gifts next week. We're going to talk about, of course, we're going to talk about some of the best Christmas ideas that I saw. We're going to talk about cooking during the holidays, what that's going to be like. We're grilling, yes, you heard that right, grilling Christmas cookies outside. So if anybody wants cookies, let us know because we can grill some extra ones. We got some eggnog we got without the rum. And, we've got, Gage
That's
Joseph.
no fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'll bring a couple little tiny bottles of that rum.
Wait a minute.
What?
You just did a little two-finger.
The little bottles. You know those little bottles you sneak into concerts?
You disappoint me.
No, the little bottles you sneak. Oh, you know what? No, I got something big for you. I'll bring it next week too. I got something. Get your mind out of the gutters, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not talking about that either. But Gage Joseph going to be here next week, performing a couple Christmas songs. So you get to hear Christmas music on the playlist, and then you get to hear Christmas songs live in the studio. I'm giving you Christmas
I can do
all day.
the Christmas live in the studio.
Well, my goal is to make you enjoy at least one of the 6 songs I pick next week. That is my goal. But you already put me in a better mood, so I'm glad to see you.
Why?
I don't know. I just I'm starting to kind of get back in the proper
Yeah, because
swing.
there's somebody that is really a big Scrooge humbug here. So, yeah, it's making you feel better.
Yeah, see, it kind of works out.
Yeah.
So we got a big show next week. This week we're gonna talk about just a bunch of random stuff. We got, of course, sports coming up at 3:00 window. You know that's coming up. But best game of the year, by the way, last night.
And you know what? I really wanted to watch that, and I don't know what sidetracked me, but I forgot all about it. And yeah, I'm hearing it was
You
the
wa-
best game of the whole year.
Yeah.
And I would have been, of course, rooting for the Browns. And
Had I not had little man last night, I was going to go to the game. I was going to go up there. Because, I mean, it's not, Cleveland's obviously not that far. But, yeah,
yeah, but are they letting just people in?
they're letting people in. There was fans in the stands.
I know, but are they season ticket holders or could you have bought a ticket?
There were still tickets available.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because I was sitting there, I was like, one of those times. Because I was like, you know, I could have been. There was 2 games I was looking at on the schedule, that one, and then there was the one in Tennessee, which I told you about, which obviously I didn't get to go to that one either. So, but yeah, we're going to talk about sports, obviously, that 3 o'clock window. And then, you know, we just got a bunch of we're going to talk about the weekend, how that went. Lola lost a lot of money over the weekend. We had the gun bash. I should have canceled it.
Yes.
I
I'm
should've canceled
thinking you should have.
I should've
After the numbers you gave me last week, I don't know why you didn't.
You know what? You know why? Because I would have felt like I failed if I would have canceled it for the
It's
second
not
time.
a failure if you postpone it
Well,
because
I
of
would
the
have had to postpone it.
conditions.
So here's what happened. I sent 200 text messages on social media to friends on my personal page. And those, I think out of that 200, I think like 100 maybe, half of them kind of blasted it on their pages. So over the course of 48 hours from that Thursday night to Saturday night, I mean, the amount of money that was being exchanged through PayPal and Venmo with me and text messages coming in, it was insane. It was absolutely insane. But, I mean, we got through it, you know? I mean, I had enough to pay for the guns, which the guns ran me about $7,300 total. So, I mean, I got that money back, which was good. But everything else we gave away, yeah, that's coming out of my pocket. So it's like...
Once again, you've lost
Yeah.
80% now of your
No, it's just
income?
80%. Yeah, because I have a way of making that money back that I lost. So I was sitting on an idea, Lola, and I got 98% confirmation before I walked in the studio that it's a go.
Well, that's
So I am going to host, I can announce at least this part, I'm going to host a Christmas special. And we are going to air it on Wednesday, December 23rd,
air it where?
on my DJ page.
Oh, okay.
DJ Danner's Christmas special. And you'll have, you're going to see a lot of performances around the Ohio Valley. I'm going to leave it at that.
Good.
I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say where it's being hosted at or where it's being filmed at, but it's going to be filmed over a 3-night kind of, over
Well,
a 3-night
yes,
kind
to
of.
keep everyone socially distant. That's a good idea.
Well, it is, and I mean, especially now with the location where it's at, I definitely have to do that. So I'm gonna make it work, and any of the sponsorships I pick up through that obviously is gonna counter for the money I lost over the weekend, which is fine. I'm gonna tie it all in together, Lola. You know, I mean, I might lose 81% of my income instead of 80, but I mean, 80 just sounds better, doesn't it? Just rolls off the tongue.
Well, yeah, it's a round number. Otherwise, we're dealing with a 1%.
My Christmas cards came in, by the way, too. So you need to give me your address.
Again?
I didn't get it last time.
All right.
Yeah.
I will write it.
Christmas cards are in. I'm not posting them though until everybody, all 20 of you, get your. And you're one of the 20, Lola.
Until
I'm
I
bumping.
get my
I'm bumping a
what?
family member for you.
Oh,
I mean, seriously.
okay.
Probably shouldn't have said it over the radio, but I'm sure that'll get back to somebody. Be like, get lost in the mail, man. I don't know. They losing all kind of other stuff. I don't know. Yeah. So what's going on with the? We're going to talk about Friday, by the way, at the bottom of the hour. You will not believe what happened to us Friday night at our gig, my one and only Christmas party that I DJ'd. And obviously, I could not post anything that was going on there for multiple different reasons. But we'll talk about Friday night at the bottom of the hour. But yeah, Saturday, so the gun bash, we got through it. You know, shout out though to the ones that helped behind the scenes. You know, Doug Boston, love Doug. Doug let us host it at his place. You know, Brandy helped out. Gage's mom and dad helped out. Gage was there, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah, he was performing. He was actually our gun boy because my gun girl couldn't make it, and the other one was out of town. So like
I'm missing something on that.
Yeah.
About a gun boy and a gun girl.
So my gun girl is obviously somebody that's 21 or older, okay? She models the guns
Oh.
that we do. And it's something I started this year, and it works out really well. But obviously, for mine, obviously, schedules didn't work out, so I got screwed. But Gage is performing because he's helping. He's kind of killing time until I get kind of caught up on all the paperwork and stuff and all the tickets. And I was like, hey, you're gonna have to show off the guns, Now, Lola, I can't do everything behind the scenes, I'm only one man,
Really?
They had a heck of a time picking the guns out. Like the group of guys, and I'm not gonna name drop who they were, but they were on the side trying to organize the guns correctly. So that didn't really go over that well. Facebook blocked the music I was playing.
Why?
They kicked me off twice because I was
of the
playing.
music.
Yeah, I was playing music. Now that's never happened before. Obviously, they do have new restrictions, which I did hear about, but I didn't honestly, I didn't think I was gonna
Violate.
Yeah, so they finally caught up to me, and they were like, "If you don't stop right now," I mean, it posted red on the page when we were live feeding it, and it said, "If you do not stop, we're going to kick you off." And it did. It kicked us off twice. So once we got the gun bash started, the whole gun bash itself was on another video. So I had to use instrumental music the whole time. So I'm using Black Eyed Peas, just can't get enough instrumental version. And that's what I had to use through the whole time. So that 40% of why I got upset over the weekend on Saturday was because of that.
Well, I have heard that. Here, somebody was trying to, I start the show with music, and we always let it go like a minute.
A minute and a half,
almost 2 minutes. And Facebook was kicking them off. But it doesn't happen with everybody.
It's weird, yeah. It's like a selected, yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
All the years I've done Facebook Live events, so now it worries me a little bit. It's like, okay, now am I in the database? Are they gonna am I a red flag
You're
now?
on the watch list.
Am I on the watch list? Yeah. So I got to kind of do some research on that stuff. So.
Well, yeah. If that's the case, then there's no rhyme or reason to the way they're doing it.
Yeah. So it really kind of ticked me off. And then we just.
Blame you.
I just couldn't get it. I could not get into a flow. Like I saw a couple things behind the scenes that were going wrong, and I'm just sitting there like just mother effing everything behind the scenes. We got done live feeding. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I lost it. And everybody's like, "You want a shot?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want nothing." I'm like, "I just want to know why we all look like bleeping idiots, behind the scenes." It's my fault.
No, it's not.
As the leader, it's my fault.
No, things happen, and there's nothing you can do. And if you're going to take every single thing to heart, you're going to end up having a nervous breakdown, becoming a drunk, something.
Oh, no, neither one of those are going to happen. But I had a meltdown, I'll tell you that.
What you need to do is things happen. There will be mistakes made. And if you don't make a big deal about it, all the people watching, all the people there, nobody's even going to know that. It's just like when you're doing a play, and you drop a bunch of lines. People in the audience don't know it as long as you don't act like you just made a big mistake. See?
No, I get it, but just a lot of things, the thought of like, man, I should have postponed it, but I didn't want to because all that money, literally the amount of money that was coming through in that 24, 48-hour window was insane. And the one person was like, I don't know how you kept track of all that stuff. I'm like, you have to learn how the Valley works, the madness, 24 hours, 48 hours out. Everybody waits till the last minute.
That's true.
And I did have a few people text me, and they're like, you know what, I apologize. I know you were marketing this about a month ago. I should have probably bought my ticket back then. I'm like, yeah, it would have been nice, but I'm like, it's okay.
It's the Valley.
It's the Valley. You just kind of deal with it. But no, we got through it. Sunday, I took like just a mental day off. I was like, you know what, I'm not replying back really to anybody. I'll just get to everything on Monday too. And then Monday started, obviously, little man's virtual still. He goes back Thursday, which is his birthday, by the way.
Oh.
So, he goes back to school. He's on hybrid, so he goes Thursday, Friday, which doesn't make any sense to me because they're picking A through L or whatever like that goes Tuesday, Wednesday. M through Z goes, Thursday, Friday. But I'm like, what happens if that, one group has more kids than the other because of the last name? I'm like, why doesn't the teachers just divide them up themselves and then just send a mass text out, or not text, but just
maybe
whatever.
Truthfully, maybe they do. That's just your guidepost there, but the teachers have the opportunity of saying, well, in this group, I would have 18, and in this group, 9. So they let them split them up themselves.
See, I don't know if they do that or not. That's a good question to ask. I don't know if they do, but I mean, that would make more sense, obviously. I just don't know. I don't know. There's still a lot of questions I have as a parent with the whole school thing, with the whole hybrid thing and the whole, online learning stuff, but I'm not going to kind of get into that because there's two sides to that. There's things that parents need to do better, which includes me, and then there's things that the teachers and the administrations need to do better to a little bit make it more smoothly that they need to work on. So it's like kind of a combination of both. You know who I want to bring in here? Our last show of the year would be awesome. Remember when we kicked off back in August and we had the superintendent of Marshall County? I'd love to bring her back in.
Well,
because that way we kind of see, hey, how did the first semester go?
yeah, because they'll be off school.
They'll be off school. Hopefully she'll have free time. And if she can't, it's fine. I'll bring somebody else in. We had a great conversation. I mean, I cannot remember her name though, and I feel bad, but I'm not going to lie. But I thought she did great when she was in here talking to us. And I'm kind of curious to see how, because my son does not go to Marshall County schools, so I'm kind of outsider on that. But yeah, that'd be great to kind of see what's going on with that. But yeah, so Lola, yeah, that's how the weekend pretty much went. We'll talk Friday when we come back from break, obviously. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. Remember the movies we were talking about? Christmas movies?
Yeah.
Forgot to.
What were they?
The Family Man. Have you seen that? Nicolas Cage?
No.
Where he is a lawyer. He's a big-time lawyer in New York, and he thinks he has everything, and he ends up going back in time and seeing what his life would be had he married the girl he was with back then. So, like, he falls asleep on Christmas Eve in the life that he's currently in as a lawyer, never settled down, no kids or nothing. Wakes up on Christmas morning, and he's married with 2 kids. You see with his life, then you see where he would have worked at before. It's like a glimpse. Mm-hmm. It is really good.
Kind of like It's a Wonderful Life.
Still haven't seen that yet. And I'm watching Die Hard over the week. I did not watch it over the weekend because I was busy. But I'm watching Die Hard coming up. And Scrooged.
Yeah.
With Bill Murray.
I know.
You don't like it?
I've seen it. No, not. It's okay. It's okay. But I'm a traditionalist, and there are a lot of those Scrooge movies that I really don't.
That you're like,
care
really?
for.
I'm just like,
I really don't like the musical.
You know what? I can't really get into musicals. And you would think that I probably would, being a DJ, but.
I guess there's a really good one on Netflix called Prom. And James Corden, Meryl Streep, I don't know who else is it, but people that don't like musicals watched it and said it really was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Speaking of DJs, by the way, I got to tell you. So half the people that won the guns and the other prizes, obviously I knew. Mm-hmm. And I gotta give a shout out to Nick Arno. Nick won a gun. He called me. He texted me that day. He's like, hey, man, can I buy a gun bash ticket? And he's won multiple times. And he does this every time. He waits till the last minute, buys a ticket. He called me Sunday. We had kind of a laugh. And he was telling me he was on like a winning streak. He had won, all this other stuff. And then he won a 50-50 for the Cleveland Indians, a virtual one. He told me how much money he won. I'm not gonna say. It was a ridiculous amount of money. And I was like, you lucky bleeping bleep. But I was so happy for him. Nick's a good guy. Nick's out of all the DJs in the Ohio Valley, Nick's my favorite one by far. Just because of the way we're able to talk and BS. We don't have to talk about music. We don't have to talk about DJ equipment. It's not about how much he makes, how much I make, who did what gig. We just kind of we get along, And we don't look at each other as competition or anything like that. And there's never been hate there. Nick's a great guy. Not saying I don't get along with some others, but there's others in the valley though that will press the buttons. And it's kind of like, you guys don't understand. We're all at the bottom of the totem pole. You guys, the headliners, the opening acts, the sound guys, But yeah, shout out to Nick though, because Nick actually won a gun over the weekend, and it was good talking to him and stuff. I asked him, I was like, you missed retail yet? And he's like, nah, he doesn't, because he used to work at Finish Line, of course, over at the mall. That's how we all met. I worked at American Eagle, and he worked at Finish Line, which was right across at the time, which now American Eagle's down further, and Men's Warehouse is in there now. Playing at the mall, too, this weekend coming, Lola. They changed our times because we're still on curfew, apparently. And 4 to 8 o'clock it got changed. So I'm playing from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. The last Saturday before Christmas, which is this coming Saturday. And that's the only thing we got. That's the last thing we got left for the rest of the year until New Year's Day. Yeah. So I got a couple weeks off. We're obviously going to film our Christmas special, but I don't really kind of consider that a gig. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a production kind of thing.
Well,
But
I'm glad this year is almost over with.
what is it?
I said, I'm glad this year is almost over with.
I don't know why. Next year is legal to drink. 21. Seriously, you think this year was bad? Wait till 2021. It's legal. They can drink.
Who
Just
can
gonna
drink? When
Keep
are you
going.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I saw that meme over the weekend. I thought it was pretty funny.
yeah.
It's like, you think 2020 is bad? Wait till you get to 2021. It's legal to drink now.
Oh, I get it.
Now you get it. Yeah, just
Yuck,
went right over
yuck.
top of your head there for a second. That's all right. I love you. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break coming up. Lola, I was blown away Friday at the Christmas party I DJ'd. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about other few things. Where you can go if you are not scared of COVID during the holidays to enjoy some family time. Coming up, you're listening to The Watchdog.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
It's that time of year again where you need to get your packages out to your loved ones just in time for Christmas. So let Spry's Mail Center Plus help you with all your shipping and packing needs. Choose from UPS, FedEx, DHL, and the United States Postal Service. Spry's Mail Center Plus also handles copying, faxing, mailbox rentals, and other business services. Located at 953 National Road in the Woodsdale Plaza next to Papa John's. So stop in this holiday season and let Stacy and her staff treat you like family, or give them a call at 304-232-1885.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
Does your company's website work for you? Is it helping attract new clients and improving your brand awareness? If not, or you don't know, contact the team at Omni Strategic Technologies. With expert web developers, they build amazing web experiences that help their clients perform better. Contact Omni at 304-242-7600 or visit them at www.omniperforms.com.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to
The original Undo's in Benwood is the perfect place to enjoy the big game, great food, and the company around you. The outdoor patio is the best kept secret in Marshall County, featuring plenty of big screen HD TVs, an outdoor beer garden, and NFL and MLB packages so you don't miss a second of the action. With the holiday season fast approaching, don't forget about Undo's Catering. Perfect for holiday parties, family gatherings, conferences, weddings, or any event large or small. Check out undos.com for menus, specials, entertainment, and more. Undo's Family Restaurants, family owned since 1953.
You might not be able to spend the holidays with family this year in person, but we can all still go home. Tune in to WTRF on December 18th at 7 p.m. for Home for the Holidays, a Loving Living Local holiday special presented by Wheeling Hospital. We'll reflect on the great holiday traditions of the Ohio Valley. Santa will read letters from local children, and we'll talk about the safe holiday memories you can make this year, plus more, including opportunities for you to win prizes while you watch. Join 7 News in staying home for the holidays.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts. Bill DeFabio, the kind of guy who wanted to purchase the original Christmas Story leg lamp.
This is a lamp.
And return it to its rightful owner because he figured somewhere in this world
It's indescribably beautiful.
a sad one-legged lady was sitting in the dark.
What a great lamp.
Tune in to the Bill DeFabio Variety Show, weekdays 12 to 2, only on The Watchdog.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. U.S. Senator Shalimar Capito is acknowledging the victory of President-elect Joe Biden. Capito issuing a statement this afternoon saying yesterday's Electoral College vote solidified Biden's win over President Donald Trump. Now, quoting Capito, following the 2020 presidential election results last month, I said I would respect the certified results and will congratulate our nation's new leaders regardless of the policy differences I might have with them. I still stand by this today and offer my congratulations to President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris. As I said yesterday, it's time to turn the page on the 2020 election and begin a new administration. U.S. Senator Shalimar Capito. Meteorologists with the National Weather Service say parts of West Virginia's eastern panhandle could pick up anywhere from 12 to 18 inches of snow from tomorrow's storm that's expected to begin in that part of the state at about mid-morning. Meteorologist Jeff Hovis says the storm will begin as mixed precipitation early tomorrow morning in southern West Virginia.
It could be a mix of rain and snow across the lowlands, transitioning to all rain. Initially there could be some freezing rain as well, and then Wednesday night it could transition back to some snow.
It's likely going to be all snow in the eastern part of the state. You can read more at WVMetroNews.com. Hubs in Charleston and Morgantown received the COVID-19 vaccine Monday. Today, hubs in Cabell, Greenbrier, and Berkeley counties are getting their first doses of the vaccine. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Sticking on the subject this afternoon of those COVID-19 vaccines, West Virginia's nursing homes are getting that, and the first shots are being given. West Virginia Healthcare Association President Marty Wright says it's time to stamp out the virus.
It has had such a disproportionate impact upon the residents and the elderly in our state. I mean, this virus has had dramatic and drastic repercussions.
New COVID-19 numbers out today. We have a story posted at our website. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
From our family to yours, season's greetings.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Ross.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from the Watchdog. AM 1600 WKKX and AM 1370 WVLY.
Give us a call and tell us what you're thinking. Locally, 304-214-1600. Out of the area, toll free, 866-514-1600 or 304-232-8255.
I was 19, I threw my stuff in the car. I headed up to the Rockies, got a job at this bar, selling beer to the locals, just barely getting by on the tips from the rich kids, they're on daddy's dime. But when I saw her walking one night, I knew that I'd be alright. And tell you right, the snow falling down, I was waking up in that sleepy little town. In her eyes, my world came so alive. I never will forget the moment she arrived. And tell you right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Watchdog Afternoon Drive. My name is DJ Danner, taking you through up until 5 p.m. Lola, question?
No, not a question. Do you know where this name came from?
Telluride?
Yeah.
It is a town in Colorado.
Yes, I know that. But it was like an outlaws hideout.
Okay.
And so when they would refer to it, they would say, "To hell you ride."
Okay.
And that's where the name came from.
I did not know that.
Oh, thank you.
Do you know why I picked that song?
I know.
You do know or you don't know?
No, I don't know why you picked it.
Okay. Well, one, it's an in-season song. because it's talking about, going out
Winter, being cold.
Yeah,
Yes.
being cold.
Mhm.
I want to go out there and just go to a dive bar, find the prettiest girl there, and slow dance with her to this song. I'm being dead serious. I want to live this song for just a moment.
That's a good thing to put on your bucket list.
That ain't gonna be on my bucket list. I'm gonna try to do it within the next couple of years.
Well, and so at least you're starting to knock stuff off.
Yeah, well, all the guns I had to buy over the weekend, I might have enough points I can just take my Capital One card and just go ahead and just
There you
get
go.
the flight for free at this point. I don't know. Speaking of traveling, let's get to a few places that we can go during the Christmas season during COVID-19, which the vaccine, that's going to be, we'll talk about that, that 4 o'clock window. You're taking it, you're not taking it. I don't know. I know it's all out now. So we'll kind of see how the general public is taking the news that it is now becoming available. We'll talk about that in a little bit later on today. But there's this place down in Marietta. Lola, you don't mind traveling, do you?
No.
Marietta welcomes the world's largest drive-through animated light show for 2020.
Wow.
I don't know much about it yet, but we're going to do some research on it. Maybe have it today. If not today, definitely by next week. But you can travel down to Marietta. They are welcoming the world's largest drive-through animated show, which is awesome. Christmas at Dogwood Pass starts November 27th, which we're already past that, and runs each Wednesday through Sunday throughout December, excluding Christmas Eve, with Santa and the Grinch on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Wild West shows at 2 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Dogwood Pass, 722 Adam Road, Beaver, Ohio. Now, where's Beaver, Ohio at?
Oh, no.
It's in Ohio somewhere.
Well,
it looks pretty legit.
obviously.
Honestly, it looks pretty legit. I'm going to show everybody some pictures real quick, if I can. There we go. We are live streaming on social media, and real quick too on the Marietta thing. Well, I don't want to show that part. I'll show that
What's
later.
the name of that place you just showed?
That place I just showed.
Yeah.
It didn't really give a name. It says Christmas at Dogwood Pass is what it's called. Christmas at Dogwood Pass. So you can do that. You can obviously go to Ogilby. Kellen and me went to Ogilby last night, and it was a great time. We had a lot of fun. I'll tell you right now, we're thinking about going here. Winter Place just has the cabins right there. Winter Place, you can go down there. You can go tubing. It's about 4 hours away. I thought about doing it after Christmas. Go down on a Sunday, Monday. You have a couple places down there where you can actually get a hotel that has like an indoor pool in it. So if you're up for traveling a little bit, you know what I mean? You can find these secluded locations to go, drive by through, see some lights, go, visit a little tiny town while you're social distancing, go skiing, go tubing. I like to ski. Lola, have you ever been skiing, by the way?
Yeah, I have. A lot.
It's a lot of fun. It is. It's a little different, but it's a little fun. You gotta have your balance. Gotta have coordination, which I'm
Gotta
Polish,
have
so
strong legs.
yeah. I was born Polish, so I was already kind of fighting a fight there. I was kind of kidding around. But yeah, those are a couple places right there. We found out that you could definitely take the kids and go hang out and do some fun Christmas stuff. So it kind of works out. Speaking of Die Hard, when we talked about that, the bottom of the hour, or the top of the hour, I should say, when your kid asks for a gingerbread house, so you recreate the final scene from Die Hard, I thought this was pretty creative. Literally, that's what they did. I don't know if it's going to show. There we go. But yeah, you can actually do that, Lola. I thought that was pretty cool. Are you into doing gingerbread houses or gingerbread cookies?
No.
We're going to attempt it. We're going to attempt it next Sunday.
Eat it.
What is it?
Eat the gingerbread.
I can't hear you. What?
I eat the gingerbread.
I ain't eating it, but I mean, I'll definitely kind of let little man we'll kind of do it together. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can obviously make Christmas ornaments. There's something else you can do with the kids. I think we're going to avoid going to see Santa this year. We're just going to just not do it. He went with his mom, I think, already. And he was like, Dad, are we going to go see Santa? I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I think maybe this might be the year we just take off. Just not going to do it. Unless I can find a legit one to come to the house and sneak in on Christmas Eve. How awesome would that be? If I kind of stashed somebody downstairs, then I woke him up and I was like, somebody's downstairs. I hear something. He would look at me and be like, I like to whisper too. So we watch all those movies. He'd be like, I like to whisper too. Yeah. He loves Elf. Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll have some more locations next week you guys can go to for the holidays, but those are just some locations. 2 in Ohio, 1 in West Virginia. Winter Place is awesome. I've been down there before. I was back in college back then, but obviously they've done a lot more work to the area, and it's obviously got a lot bigger. So Lola, let's get to the weekend on Friday. So I had no idea who this guy was. He messaged me. He's like, "Hey, I need a DJ for a house party," and I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, "That works out." He's like, "I need a couple bartenders too," and I'm like, "All right." So make some calls, get you a couple bartenders. So I had everybody lined up, and I was like, "How many people are you expecting?" And he's like, "Oh, just about 126." So I'm like, 126 people in your house. I'm like, this is gonna be interesting. So I kind of figured that, okay, he's going to have a big house, right?
No, probably not.
I can say this story because this was a travel day. So this was not here in the Ohio Valley. So we get to this place. It was only, Lola, the second time ever DJing to where I had to be buzzed in through a gate
Oh, my goodness.
to get to the house. So you want to talk about a perfect location. I mean, acres on acres, this guy had. It was the third time I was in had to be $1 million house. Had to be. With that and the acres, had to be at least $1 million. Worst case, I'm going to say maybe 775, but I think maybe. So we're playing outside for the Christmas party.
Okay.
And of course, they had a tent for us. So we were inside the tent, obviously, but it was obviously outside. The most fanciest tent I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, load in, load out was tough because we had to walk down their steps through their grass, which they had a professional porta-john, which smelled amazing and was so warm. The tent was awesome. You get in the tent, they had a dance floor, they had all the chairs and stuff. It was my only Christmas party of the year, Lola. I'm usually doing like 8 a year. But obviously with COVID, everybody canceled except for this guy. Come to find out, it's his company Christmas party. It's him and his wife. It's their company Christmas party.
Okay.
So I walk in, they showed us the bar, which they sent us pictures of the bar already, and I was like, okay, this is a nice spread. So I was like, I didn't know the tent was going to be there. We were going to be outside, but I was like, okay, this is a nice spread. So walk in, they're playing hip hop, early 2000s hip hop. So I'm like, man, I'm loving what you're playing. This is great. Talking to me about the music, and he goes, they want a party. And I'm like, okay. I played 0 Christmas music, Lola. 0. Not one song. There's no cocktail hour. There's no dinner hour. They had obviously a full spread of food and everything like that. It's come as you go, and it was a party. It was just a party. And Lola, I was blown away by how well they all got along. I mean, I know it's a Christmas party. Obviously, you might have your people arguing this and that, throughout the course of a year. Holidays, everybody kind of gets along or forces themselves to get along. I truly saw employees hug their owners and talk about how much they appreciated it working for these two. I mean, like, Kevin and me were looking. Kevin's bartending, plus we had somebody else, and Kevin and me are looking at each other like, what is going on right now? I mean, like, there was no masks whatsoever. Another reason why I couldn't post anything. Which, by the way, in case anybody wants to throw a red flag at me, I got tested again, second time. Came back negative, so we're good. They danced. And then they played this game, Lola. They played this game where you had to do this dare, okay? Or you had to take 4 or 5 shots. Oh, my God. Or you had to surrender. If you surrendered, then you got your envelope, which, by the way, they had 69 employees. And when I say 69, I mean they used that word in a vulgar way, which was hilarious, by the way. So everybody had to go through the first round. And if you did the dare or did the shots, then that means you're still in the game. If you said, you know what, I surrender, you got your envelope. That was your Christmas thing, okay? It started at $500 is what they gave away. And whoever was the remaining standing at the end of the game won like a ridiculous amount of money, which we'll get to in a second, how much money that person won. So we get through the first round. You know, I think maybe out of 69, I think maybe only 10 surrendered. Everybody else either did the shots or they did the dare, which the one dude had 2 tampons in his nose. I mean, I'm not kidding you, Lola. This was just a weird, one guy had to lose his shirt, you know. It was insane. Every 5 names they pulled out, it seemed like, they gave away like a special prize. So they put this Amazon box up on top of my facade. And I'm like, what's in there? And she's like, you don't need to know. It's okay. And I was like, all right. And she had a kind of like, you know, like that little mischievous kind of look at her. Yeah, it was all adult toys from Amazon. Lola, I was, and then I'm blown away by that because I'm like, man, you all apparently did not take the sexual harassment classes when you guys probably should have. But what I mean by that, jokingly, was they were that relaxed. They all got along. Yeah, it was a little inappropriate, but it was funny, and there was nothing vulgar to it whatsoever. I just could not believe how well everybody got along, and they enjoyed their time together. They laughed, they joked, they made ins and ends jokes about one another. It was an amazing time, and I could not believe it. So Lola, we get through the first round, which lasted like an hour and a half, by the way. I played from 6 till 1 a.m., and actually I played till 1:20. So we get through the first round. Second round comes up, and it's time for musical chairs. Musical chairs during COVID-19 was the greatest thing I had seen all year long. It was absolutely hilarious. And if you lost in the musical chairs, you ended up getting your tickets. And your tickets had first person that surrendered, it got like 500, then it went up to like 540, then it went up to 6, then it went up to 7, 8, 9. Eventually, when you got done through, when you got to like the final 20, they were up to like $1,000 they were basically giving away. So it was absolutely insane. And Lola, I tell you what, when you play musical chairs, you're supposed to keep going around the whole time. Yeah, these people did not want to go around. That's how ruthless they were, and it was so difficult to kind of get them to go, and we ended up having to keep the music going a little longer. But that ended up taking like 45 minutes. So the game and the musical chairs ended up taking like 2.5 hours. So I ended up having to play till about 1:20. The winning person won $8,000. Wow. But they ended up splitting with the person that was second. And Kevin and me were trying to add up. They probably spent over $35,000 alone just in that game. So I mean, and then we're trying to do the math of, okay, if you pay these employees this amount of money, they had to be over $2 million in payroll.
What kind of company is it?
I don't want to say. I don't want to say, but I was just blown away by how little of a company that was and how much they had expanded over a short amount of time, and how much their employees appreciated them. And then Lola, I saw something I never saw doing all these years doing Christmas parties. Never saw this before. I actually saw one of the supervisors come up to me. I need your microphone. We have a presentation for the owners. The employees bought the owners a Christmas gift. Mm-hmm. Never saw anything. Now, of course, before they did that, they had to do a lap dance for each of them. So, of course, the husband had to lap dance his wife had to lap dance, and she wanted WAP, obviously, which was pretty entertaining. Told you, Lola, no Christmas music. And, but it was amazing. And then, obviously, the tears were coming. The girl owner, she was crying, and she was, it was motivating. I looked at Kevin. I said, this is the proper way to run a company. Whatever they're doing, people need to watch.
They're doing it right.
They're doing it right. You need to duplicate it. I mean, some people would have walked into that as an outsider and been like, oh my God, like, I can't believe they're doing this at a company Christmas party. It's so inappropriate. But here's the thing. You don't work there. You don't work there. You don't know how their personalities are. And they do it, and they made it work, and they just had fun. Like I said, there was nothing vulgar. You know, like I said, it was innocent fun. You know what I mean? Like nothing, like nobody was going home with anybody else. You know, everybody ended up going home. You know, and then a couple people ended up staying, I think, throughout the course of the night, because we were the last ones there to leave. And then everybody got a Christmas ornament and stuff. Did I mention they had a mechanical bull? No. Yeah, they had a mechanical bull. Yeah, on top of that. Yeah. And then to close out the night, they gave away more cash. They had a cash machine blow up. You had to get in. You know, remember the one you had to have sticky fingers? And you had to, remember what was it, like a TV show where like they put you in this thing and like, you know, You know, all the air starts flowing around.
Yeah.
You had to grab as much money as possible.
Yep.
That's what they ended the night with. I mean, I couldn't imagine how much that whole entire bill was. And regardless of how they do it with their taxes, how they do it write-off, whatever it is, the fact is they're doing something incredible in their town that they live in. They're making a really nice living. And they're earning the respect of their employees, and their employees are, in return, so appreciative. I mean, I was just blown away, Lola. I don't know a company around here that's like that. And that's not knocking anybody in the Ohio Valley. I'm just saying all the times I've done Christmas parties, I've just never seen that before, ever. And that kind of kicked off the weekend.
Well, I know my son works for a roofing company in Boulder, and now they don't go to that extreme, but you know it's like a giant family. You know, everybody pulls together, works together, and so yes, they were successful and they spread the wealth around. You know, he works for a really good couple.
The lady that gave away the supervisor that gave away the gift to the owners, first thing she said on the mic, if these two aren't the best bosses you've ever worked for, get the bleep out. I mean, like, the explicitives were just going. And the place just erupted. Everybody was cheering and hollering, and I was like, man, you know. And Kevin's talking to these other guys sitting at the bar, and they're like, why aren't you in there trying to win? And they're like, no, it's our wives' company. Like, we're just here to, because you could bring your significant other. You know what I mean? But I was just blown away. Whatever they were doing was right.
Cool.
And it was inspiring to watch that. I didn't get a chance to, I mean, I told him thank you, obviously, for booking us. And, you know, he looked at me at like 11, and he's like, because I can just keep you to 1, right? And I was like, I kind of figured we weren't getting out of here at 11 when I saw this crowd. So I looked at, you know, Kevin. I'm like, hey, man, it's going to be a long night. We didn't get home. It was like 3:30 in the morning. I think by the time we got back, 3:30, 4 o'clock. But yeah, that was our Friday. And I just, you know, hats off to that company. It was inspiring to watch that. I took it as, man, I need to be better as an owner myself, even though I don't have 69 employees. But like, you know, you want to kind of not copy to a T, but you kind of see that love there and that respect there and that hustle there. And they talked about that too. They talked about the hustle, about how much work they, you know, put into the business, how much they were going to try to expand. You know, they were like, you know, bleep this year, you know, because obviously it was a bad year for everybody. But the fact that they were still able to pull that off, and nobody, I mean, when I said nobody's wearing masks, nobody, that wasn't even brought up at all. None of it was. The wardrobe changes were pretty hilarious too, by the way, because that's where I really got into the owner, because I was like, man, I'd be doing something like that. Like, yeah. He had his like first attire, then he had his second attire, which was more professional, then he had his third attire. By the third attire, he was just blitzed. You know, he was 2 shades of the wind, obviously. But the musical chairs during COVID-19, I'll never forget that as long as I live. They had this dude here that had, his beard was so long, he actually had ornaments in his beard. And he was probably the most intoxicated one. I think he ended up staying there. I don't think he even went home. But yeah, he was all for the musical chairs. He ended up actually being in the top 2, so he got that huge cut. But yeah, it was insane, Lola. I mean, it was cool to see that. It felt like it wasn't this year I played that. Like, it felt like it was like a normal year. no restrictions. And it was the first time they had entertainment too, because they always try to do it in their house upstairs, and they have like a surround sound in their house, which their house is amazing, by the way. I mean, I'm like, okay. They're like, yeah, just go up there. It's, the bathroom's down the road. And I'm sitting there like, okay. Like, I need a scooter to get down here, I guess. Yeah. But, hats off to them. They're hustling, working. And they do, I don't even want to say what profession they do, but, it's about an hour and a half drive, Lola. Give you an idea, over in Ohio. So, Lola, we're going to go to break. We're coming back. We're talking sports when we come back. You're listening to the Watchdog Afternoon Drive.
The Watchdog